The secret weapons of the Greek gods. The might of the Olympians. Gather round, traveler, and let me tell you tales older than the winds, whispered by the stars and etched in the stones of Olympus. The Greek gods, mighty and majestic, were not merely powerful because of their birthright. They wielded weapons and artifacts of such wonder and terror that they shaped the fate of mortals and immortals alike. Zeus's master bolt, the divine judgment. First, let us begin with Zeus, king of the gods, whose throne sat high on Mount Olympus, veiled in thunderclouds. In his hand, he held the master bolt, not just a weapon, but a declaration of supreme authority. Crafted by the Cyclopes in the depths of Tartarus, this bolt did not merely bring storms, it split mountains, scorched the earth, and brought silence to defiant gods and men. When Zeus hurled the bolt, the sky itself seemed to weep with light. But, it wasn't just wrath. The master bolt also brought balance, used to ignite life and light in the world. Thunder and justice, destruction and creation. His weapon was the very will of Olympus, unleashed. Poseidon's trident, the earthshaker's fury. Far beneath the crashing waves, in the palace of coral and pearl, sat Poseidon, ruler of the seas. His weapon, the trident, was a three-pronged spear that could calm or convulse the oceans. One strike on the seabed could summon tsunamis, another, an earthquake to crumble cities. But it was not all chaos. The trident could stir the tides to bring prosperity to fishermen or draw fresh water from barren land. When Poseidon raised it, ships changed course and islands emerged from the deep. No coast was untouched by its command. They did not call him the Earthshaker for nothing. Hera's girdle of persuasion, the power of influence. Now, not all weapons glint with steel or hum with magic. Some are woven with subtler power. Behold Hera, queen of Olympus, whose girdle of persuasion could bend the hearts of gods and mortals alike. Woven with the magic of love and influence, this enchanted sash made even the most stubborn soul pliable. When Hera wore it, no plea fell on deaf ears. Zeus himself, ever proud, would be swayed by her words. She used it not for battle, but for diplomacy, manipulation, and control. Empires rose and fell with a whisper from her lips. In politics and passion, she was unmatched. The weapons of war. Aries' spear of war, the blood drinker. Next, we hear the thunder of hooves and the scream of battle as Aries, god of war, strides onto the field. In his grip, the spear of war gleamed red with the blood of centuries. It was not merely a tool of destruction. It was a channel for Aries' primal fury. Wherever it was cast, it stoked hatred, drove men mad with rage, and turned skirmishes into carnage. It fed on conflict, thrived on chaos. But beware, once drawn, it cared not who fell, friend or foe. Aries did not fight for justice or cause. He fought because war was his joy. Athena's Aegis, wisdom woven in war. Then, like a calm before the storm, comes Athena, daughter of wisdom and war. Her Aegis, a gleaming shield often said to bear the face of Medusa, was more than armor. It was intellect made manifest. It protected her, yes, but it also terrified her enemies, reflecting their own fear back at them. In battle, she wielded it with strategy and grace, directing forces with the precision of a master tactician. It inspired courage in allies and despair in foes. For where Aries brought blind rage, Athena brought brilliant command. War, she showed, could be fought with the mind as much as the might. Hermes' caduceus, messenger's might. From the skies descended Hermes, the trickster, the traveler, the god with winged sandals and a mind as quick as lightning. His caduceus, a staff entwined with serpents, was more than a mark of speed. With it, he could halt battles with a word, charm wild beasts, and lull enemies to sleep. It was a symbol of balance and duality, life and death, peace and conflict. In his hands, it parted the veils between realms, guiding the dead to the underworld and bringing messages that changed the tides of history. Not all weapons strike. They can also sway, soothe, and save. Beyond the gods, the power of myth. The Oracle at Delphi, voice of the divine. Far from Olympus, in the shadow of Mount Parnassus, The Oracle of Delphi sat wreathed in smoke and mystery. Here, Apollo's will was whispered through a mortal priestess. Her words, cryptic and strange, could direct kings to war or peace, guide heroes on their quests, or warn of doom. Those who sought her faced not just riddles, but their own reflection in destiny's mirror. For the gods often spoke in riddles, and the oracle was their echo, reminding mankind that even their fates were playthings of the divine. The Labyrinth, maze of fate. Deep in the heart of Crete lay the Labyrinth, built by the genius Daedalus under the command of King Minos. But it was more than a maze. It was a prison of divine cunning, meant to hold the monstrous Minotaur, born of the gods' interference in mortal matters. To enter the Labyrinth was to confront more than physical danger. It was to wrestle with one's own fear, ego, and fate. Only those with the gods' favor, or their own cleverness, could emerge. It symbolized the twisting path of life, where one wrong turn could lead to ruin. The Gorgon's head, terror made flesh. And finally, the most feared trophy of them all, the head of Medusa, severed by Perseus with divine aid. It retained its power even in death. One glance could still turn flesh to stone. Carried in a bag or mounted upon a shield, it became a divine deterrent. Used by Athena herself, it reminded all who opposed Olympus of the god's wrath. No army could stand before its gaze. It was not just a weapon, it was a legacy of fear, a symbol of divine punishment turned into a tool for protection. The tale's end, or just the beginning. So now you know, traveler, that behind every god was a relic of power, crafted by ancient hands and fueled by cosmic might. These were not mere trinkets, but embodiments of divine purpose, tools that shaped the myths and molded the mortal world. Keep these tales close, for in every thunderstorm, every crashing wave, every twist of fate, you may yet hear the echo of the gods and their secret weapons at play.